Hey friends, it's me, Cynthia, and Azalea's here. She's on the other side of the camera.
Hello.
And this is our Greengirlstudios Magic Hour Sunday edition. So today, I am run off my feet, but I still have a fun tutorial to show you. So that'll be good. We're getting ready to go to Fresno. We leave tomorrow. And we're going there mostly for the bead retreat that's taking place that is held by beadshop.com. And that is, I can't remember the town. I don't know why the town is escaping me. I think it's, does someone out there know what the town is? Oh, hello Karen. Hello my friends. Where's everybody coming in from? Oh, I see my friend Clem. Hello Tina. Hello Karen. Yes, it was warm today. We went on an early morning bike ride and it was fun, fun, fun. I just got a bike, so I haven't had a bike of my own that wasn't a hand-me-down from like my sister or my brother. So this is my first bike that is all mine since I was, I think my dad, he rebuilt a bike for me when I was like 10. That was the last time I had my own bike. Before that, I shared with my sister that one we got from the flea market, and it was a good. It was a good bike. It was a very cool green. Now I have a cream colored bike. Oh, there it is. Karen says San Baptista. I don't think I've ever been there. No, San Juan Bautista. I've never been there. I kept thinking of it as being in that town that's just above. I kept wanting to say it's San Luis Obispo, but it's not that. I haven't been to this town that it's held at. Oh, hello my friend Donna. Hello Cherie. Hello Nancy. Kalite. Hello. Oh, Tina's on Austin. Yes. Oh, Charlotte, I see. You know, a few times we had people from, what was it, Ireland, and then there was one time we had Norway. It was like worldwide. It was pretty cool. All right, today I'm going to show you. I have a kit. I didn't know if we were going to finish it in time to release it. That was for sure. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be done in time. We've been just going full tilt all day long, and I'm at that point where I don't even know if I'm coming or going. Karen says San Juan Bautista. I think that sounds right. I have it in the email, and I heard Kate say it like 17 different times. I don't know why. Sometimes things just escape my brain. All right, so I made these little collections, I guess, of things for each of the members that are coming to the retreat, and I'm packaging them in these little cloth bags. I didn't make these cloth bags. That would be nice if I did. That would be real nice. But, you know, you make what you can. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can do most of what you think you're going to do, I guess. So I was going to stamp these. And my friend was like, you should, because you know that's the favorite, and you know what you should do? She's like, you could do your live, because I was like, I want to do another thing, but I'm so like, I don't know if my eyes will focus. I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but I get to a point where my eyes just don't want to, they just don't want to do it. They're like, nah, we're not going to go focus down that tight. And we did a few nights, was it 2 nights ago, Friday night, we had the Sundance party, if you want to watch the replay on that. And there's like 5 of us crafting all at once. It was a pretty good time, and we went for 2 hours. It was pretty epic. I mean, you know, here I'll go for 2 hours, doesn't feel like it, but I'm not the one on those doing all the talking the other night. So what I'm going to do is I have these bags. These are fabric bags that you can get you can get them in bulk, and they're sold for like, where you could put bath salts or whatever kind of packaging that's not plastic. And I make them stamped. I stamp them, I don't make them stamped. But Zoe, could you go get me the one that's there in the oven? So I put them in the oven after I have printed them, and I let them sit at like, the oven, we just made dinner, so I just threw them in after the oven was cooling.
Oh, thank you for doing these.
No problem. Let me show it. You only needed one out of that stack?
The one right off the top of my head.
Isn't this cute? So I used this fabric block printing ink. Now, this is supposedly, you know, I never tried to wash it, so if you don't, I did rinse one. It hadn't set, and I put it in because I messed it up. So I ran it in the water, and it did come out. So I'm not sure why this is fabric. Maybe you have to freaking go over it with an iron. It doesn't say anything about
fabric ink.
It is a fabric ink.
And that's the same thing that other people print on their t-shirts. And t-shirts get washed more than any other type of clothing.
It says printed fabrics can be laundered after curing 1 week at room temperature.
Curing 1 week, huh?
So you gotta let it sit 1 week. That's what this says. So if you don't like what you make, and you know you smudged it or whatever, you can rinse it out. And then, because I never tried to do that, so I think they look cute.
You did a good job.
Thank you. I think I'm going to do something tonight with that. Let's do it.
All right. Well, first, when you flip the camera, let's show this real fast to give people a chance to look.
Now listen, so I have, as y'all know, I released the crochet workshop. Not even wearing one. What's up with that, Thornton? Here's one. I'll put one on right now. It's right, my favorite one. I got those stick pearl action. People love a stick pearl, including myself. Makes me feel like a mermaid. These are good for travel because they have that, they're not, you know, it's not heavy duty. It's light. And sometimes when you're in the summertime, you don't want to be wearing heavy necklaces. Well, sometimes I'll wear a heavy necklace. I mean, look at, you should see this other one I have. Do I wear that? Yes, I do. But it seems like it looks better over a sweater than over a tank top. All right, I'm gonna flip this camera around. I was thinking, you know what? I am super busy, so maybe I'll have time for a bike ride. Yeah. Oh, here's a little pig. Look, don't mind my mess, y'all. Don't mind my mess. It's all spread out. This is how I work. Buddy! Thick. He said don't say anything. Don't say anything about my thickness. Listen, we keep it pro level around here at Greengirlstudios. Quick cat break.
Handsome.
He is truly handsome. He doesn't want to hear about it. All right.
Show this to people first so they can get a taste of it.
Let's get a taste of it.
During the live.
Yeah, we can think about it.
And use this to scoop.
Oh, Zoe wants me to scoop. This is such a tiny container, but it's so precious. So precious. I found these screw top ones, and I am delighted. Because before that, let me just show you what kind of nonsense I was dealing with. This is some nonsense.
Oh, those tiny
This
containers.
is some nonsense. You want to see something that's no bueno? Check this
True
business
nonsense.
out. Look at that.
Those lids
How much?
just flew right off.
How much do you hate that?
You just breathe on it too hard and it opens, huh?
Yeah, I do not love that because this is how I store them. And if you're making these to sell, I don't know how many people make stuff to sell out there. You kind of have to keep track of it unless you've got a really good mind for it. And I there's little slips of paper, I don't know if you can see them. They're really small that say how much each bead is. But now I've got to take the time to do all this and sort it. Ugh, no fun. But what is good, look at this. This is what is good, is these. I found that and I was so happy. These things didn't seem to, it's plastic, but it seemed like it was on there pretty tight. The other ones are also plastic, but they pop out. So That's horrendous. So in this kit, this is stuff that I had been saving, and I have piles of it because this crochet kit's been on my mind for a while. And let me bring that closer to show. And I'm going to show with this because this is kind of fun. I'm going to scoop it at the same time. It's like a bulldozer. My friend Joanne came over and she brought me and Azalea a tropical smoothie cafe bowl because she knows how much I love them. And I was so happy because I wanted one after our bike ride this morning, but we were like, we don't have time. So it was pretty awesome. So what you can see, I don't know if you can see it, is Herkimer Diamonds, the double terminated type. I did go through with my Optivisors and high grade all the strands. Those are pink tourmaline. Let's see, get some of that out of the way. There's 2 sizes of pearls. Some of those nugs are kind of a bigger size, and then I have some that are like little rice pearls, and they are drilled through they're center drilled. So let's see if that shows it. The hole is right there, so they lay like this. That's how they go. I wonder if I have a necklace showcasing it. I probably do because I love them. So this is one of the blends that I usually will use with a gray or a khaki color. This one I used a kind of a blue, but these are all the types of beads that I'm using. Oh, hello, friend Wendy. And hello, Gumnut Lane. Where's Gumnut? Where are you out of?
Where's Gumnut?
Where's Gumnut from? I feel like Gumnut. I saw a tree once, but it was from Australia, so that's why I'm curious. That's a African glass right there. I love those. Just like a pop of something pretty. But that's the size of beads. Right there is this. This isn't the collection. This one there's pre-night. What else did I put in there? Moonstone. Those are little moonstones.
All the gemstones are listed in the description of the listing.
Oh, thank you.
We have moonstone, those labradorite coins, tiny Herkimer diamonds, pink tourmaline, amethyst, aquamarine, more labradorite because we all know your weakness for labradorite.
Oh, they're so finely faceted, and also I should mention, this one has they have good sized holes. And there's some really super duper cute little, did this one have any of that, did you put that opal in this one, or are we going to put it in there?
No, it was too tiny.
Too tiny?
It wouldn't fit on the string.
One of Marty's hairs. Sorry.
We also got rainbow fluorite in there, those pearl nugs, the bigger ones you can see, rice pearls that you showed, and tiny pre-night.
This should make probably So from my directions, I show how I use piles of beads, and I spread them out like this in the directions. So I'm spreading them out like this. And you want to make, I usually go around my neck to see. But you know, obviously it depends on how many knots you put or how many links. And I put about that much for a necklace. That's about do it right there. You see they're spread out. The time-consuming part of this whole process is stringing and putting, like going through and doing a pattern, you know. That's where the time is. Crocheting it and doing the knots, that's not the time-consuming part. That's the fun and easy part where you could take it with you in your bag. But if you are timing yourself, the most time-consuming part is putting the beads onto the cord, just so you know. So I would estimate from this that you could get 3 to 4, I'm being conservative, necklaces out of one tin. And I charge for these necklaces, how much I charge for this one? This one's $150. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's my time. You know, there's a lot of time in it. It's not just the beads, even though the beads This one has a little bit of glass on it, but this is all gemstone. Pretty good, high quality. The nicest stuff I could find. Like, look at the quality of those pearls. They're very, I don't know if you could see it, but they're not dead pearls. They're very iridescent. They're old stock. When the pearls, these, I mean, if you compare them with current pearls, you'll see what I'm talking about. I have not bought a lot of pearls in recent years just because they're not as iridescent. So that's our kit. It's pretty limited. Azalea made 12 of this color. Moon pearl. It's definitely that kind of colorway of like shimmering, you know, shimmering tones. And they have a nice generous sized hole for how big that bead is, so you don't have to fight for your life.
Good container too.
Reuse it. Reuse, reduce, recycle.
It's a screw top.
I know, it's good. Okay.
You did a good job.
There you go.
Oh, you're missing something.
Oh, there.
Here, we could just lift it up and pour it into the. Let me see real quick, because you missed all those edges.
Yeah. Oh, I missed so many.
That
bulldozer was not as good.
You just didn't see it, I guess. It's okay. I'm gonna pour it for you.
Oh, gumnut! It is in Australia. Oh my, that's so good. You know, I saw the pod of that gum nut. I was looking on Etsy and I totally was fixated. I really wanted to get them. Isn't it a really beautiful flower that kind of looks like a mimosa plant? I think it's called a mimosa. Somebody corrected me and said that's not actually what that is, but it's kind of a spray, like a brush. Very beautiful plant. Well, thank you for joining us. That's pretty awesome. Oh, Wendy says, if people don't appreciate the work that goes into it, they don't deserve it. That's funny. Yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, it is a lot of work. But, you know, they will last a really long time. And, you know, it's funny, this gal, she was like, that's too much. And I'm like, you know, I noticed her top. And I'd seen it in Anthropology, so I knew that top was 120, right? And I was like, so, you know, you're going to buy a top that you're wearing, and how many times can you realistically wear that top before it falls apart? You know, maybe 20 or 30 times, because you're going to wash it, it's going to go on the laundry, and it's just going to get, you know, it's going to look worn after a while, and you're not going to wear it, and you will have gotten certain amounts of wears out of it. Out of some jewelry, it's going to last. I've had pieces that have lasted well over, you know, a decade. So if you're thinking of like, if someone is like cost per wear, because some people do that, you know, because they're going to justify some really expensive pair of boots or whatever, it's a relatively low cost, especially for jewelry. I was like, are you really gonna agonize over 150 when your top is, I mean, it's a cotton top. It's not even, not to be, you know, like it's not special, but hey girl, can you get me a Sharpie?
Yeah. Does it matter the color?
No, I just wanted something to draw a picture with. Is that ice cream?
No.
Oh.
It's not ice cream?
It looked like, well, I don't have my glasses on.
That's my tzatziki sauce.
So this is...
We're going to do a dinner showing on the thing. Like, this is what we're enjoying tonight.
Greg made a good dinner.
So
this is a piece of Dick Blick. I think they call it... It's... I don't know the name of it, but it's their carving block printing substrate. I don't know what they call that.
Would you like I think I have a box of fine Sharpies, and you could have your pick of colors.
I just wanted a thick black one.
I don't have any thick black ones anywhere.
Well, I wanted to do something kind of like my frog. So, usually when you're doing this, you consider your negative space. So this is considered negative space. This is your negative space. All this is negative space. And whatever you don't want, you carve it away. So here's the stamp. Thank you. Let me get a dark color here. Maybe this is a dark color. It'd be nice if it had a thick line, but you know. Oh, Gumnut Babies. May Gibbs. That sounds really cute. I feel like I know that artist. Snugglepot and what's the other one's name? Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie. Gumnut Babies. That's cute. Thank you. I'm gonna look that up. I love illustration. All right. Let's see. So when you're considering, the first thing you want to consider is that whatever you're printing, it's going to come out backwards. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. And I often carve in reverse. Like a lot of my bronze coins are done where you're digging out, kind of similar to block printing. It's a very similar technique because it's essentially mold making if you think about it. So I got this pretty big. I might not do this large. And if you follow, there's a gal who I love her work so much. And I'm going to think about it here and I'm going to remember it. She prints custom bags for her leather bracelets. And I tell you, sometimes I think I just want that bag. You know, it's funny. I can print it myself, but you know, sometimes you want somebody else's work. So I want it to fit here. What I might do is do something like this, so that it's not so, you know, too much. Oh, hello, Jennifer. She said, good afternoon. Good evening. It's not going to be dark for a minute. I have a few minutes. I could ride my bike, a brand new bike. I could do like a bird, put a bird on it. You know how I love birds, or a butterfly, or I'm going to try and resist making a frog. Y'all know that I want to make a frog, but I'm going to resist. So, I don't know. I should have drawn it beforehand, but I guess we're going to do this now. I'm going to cut it in half. This stuff's very easy to trim and cut it with scissors. And it's good because it's gray on the top, and you can switch it up if it works best for your eye, your vision, if you want it to be more like white in the background. Because when you dig it, it shows where you've cut. It's pretty luxurious, because most times if you ever cut lino, it's just gray or pink all the way through. Like that's the color it was, but it's stained from years of use. So let's see. It's like a pencil. The pencil, I'll freehand it. Okay, let's do.
You doing another frog?
No. I'm gonna try and maximize the amount I have on here. So I'm just gonna. I don't know if you'd see that. My standby, put a bird on it, you know. I love birds. I sometimes feel like Radagast. We have a family of Carolina wrens that visit me in the garage when they're working, and it's so cute. A little family of little Carolina wrens. We dug out. And when I say dug out, I should just say we emptied this trash container that had trash bags in it. So it's a trash bag box. So their tails are kind of like that, the Carolina wren. A little foot like this. Try to fit that on there. Oh no, I think it's a smaller head. Man, that looks like crap. Always when you're going live.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, sometimes you make something that looks really good, sometimes not. So in this case, say that you make something that looks not great. Like this doesn't look that great. I think I do this almost every time where I have to flip it. So I might just flip it. Or I might just carve something else. That's why if you use a thin line, you tend to do this. I always use something. Now when I say always, when I have not gone upstairs to go get it. Sometimes I'll get kind of a little bit lazy with it. And I'll just make this more of a stylized bird, and we're just gonna live with it. Okay, so I'm gonna dig it out. So here's the fun part. And try and keep it steady. You want to keep your you can cut out anything that you don't like the edges. See how I cut this one out? The same thing can be done here so that you can just focus on getting some nice details. And this has white on the other side, which is pretty cool because then you know where you've carved. Sometimes it can be hard to tell where you've carved. You know what? I think some of my tools are getting rusty.
You've been using a lot of this for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, but you know what? They're in the garage, and sometimes when I leave it open when it rains, and I just, you know, I like the sound of it, but sometimes it gets damp and the stuff starts to rust. I'm going to cut that anyway. Oh, our friend Carrie Rossi. There's one gal I follow on Instagram. She makes really beautiful, like half of her feed is carving, and she speeds up the carving, and then you see the image emerge from the background. It's pretty cool. These are kind of dull. This tool is dull. But it's better than the one I just picked up, which was for sure dull. Get in there, you. Yeah, if your tools are not dull, they work a lot better. So what I'll probably do is just cut that out, because that'll move a little bit quicker. This is my method here. Cut off that, and I'll figure out the foot when I get there. It's like, hopefully this looks real good and not horrendous.
Your stuff usually comes out good.
Yeah, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Like last Friday night, man, I was just not on my A game. I was so tired, and trying to make something good just wasn't working for me.
It's okay.
You know, I save little giblets like this right here because you can make, look at this. This is so cute. That kind of, if you look at it, looks like it could be a heart. So let's see. Save all these little pieces. You never know, because you might want a little accent piece. Let me see if I can get that to not look like trash. Well, we'll say it's block printed. Give it that kind of rustic look, as they say. The Sundance rustic.
Like everybody on the Sundance night was like, oh, it's so rustic. Nice.
This is for sure rustic. Look how chewed up it is on the edge. But you know, you could actually go in there and fix it and say, let's fix it. There. Ah. I'm going to dig out a little eye. Ooh, Cherie said a strawberry. That's a cute idea. So the other day I finished up that heart that I was working on for the prizes, and I was like, I love this even more than I thought I could love it. It's so cute. And It's not in the mold. It's just sitting on that. But it's ready to be molded. So we'll announce the winners. They might make it. Greg might be able to pull it off and finish it. I'm going to have to figure out how to sharpen this because it's like dull.
What tool is it?
This one. I have a whetstone. And you know what? I took a class on how to sharpen these things. It was an online class. And I tell you what, I am still not good at it, even after doing live Zooms. It's sharpening is not. I'm just going to let this dude that's at the farmer's market handle it. My sister made a piece that looks just like this too. I don't remember from what it's from, but yeah, what did we? She made it. It's a little heart. It's a eye protection. Yeah, that one doesn't look too bad. We'll stamp it and it'll probably look better. But if not, then I can just be like, oh well. It's usually this would be scrap anyway, so. These little tight parts like this are really hard. They tend to get filled up in the mold. Yeah, so that's a little, this is kind of like what the contest prize, we're making 5 of them. It's a celebration of our year anniversary for starting the Greengirlstudios gang. It's been a little bit over a year, but, you know, close enough. So I made the wax, and I gotta set the sapphires tonight. Lots to do.
I know, our list of things to do is so long.
I know. Alright, so there's one. So then what you do is you're gonna like, boom, stamp it. What a mess. Let's tidy this up. Oh, let's tidy this.
You're doing great.
Thank you. You only had to look at that rainbow for a second. That rainbow is pretty bright. But it's exactly the height that I need. Is this box that is under there that I keep my chocolates in?
Huh.
Oh.
New location discovered.
Shoot.
I won't tell Max. I'll keep that to myself.
I'm trying to get in here and wiggle this with these dull tools. There's a guy at the farmer's market that will sharpen your tools for you. So I bring him my scissors and then I pick them up the next week. Scissors and knives and what have you. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to accept that sharpening this with a whetstone or with whatever you use, because that's what I learned. And I didn't actually learn it because I can't actually do it right. It takes a lot of finesse, it turns out, and I don't have the patience. I know, weird, but it's not like carving where you're making something. It's like busy type of work, I guess. I consider it.
Have you ever had to sharpen anything like that?
Yeah, it's hard. Because if you get it the wrong angle, then you ruin because you're supposed to get it to sharpen, you have to run it over this, they call it, it's for these tools, and they're grooved so that it's rounded, so then it's like this, so then you're like this, and it's made out of stone. It has all these little different sizes. But if you get the angle, so if you come at it like this and then you come at it like this, you'll get 2 different angles and basically mess up your edge. Yeah, it's definitely takes some skill. Lisa says, I worry about your fingers. Don't. They are beat up and used to all manner of abuse.
Calloused.
They are. I might have to make a second tail piece, that's a separate piece, so the tail can be like up or down. Then I'll just cut this like that so I don't have to worry about it. Maybe I'll just do it now and cut it. And then add a tail. later, because you can use different pieces. Say if I made the tail like this, so you could just do it in a different shape. I'll cut in here. Let's see. You know, if you cut too aggressively, though, it gets... Brittle is not the right word. It's not brittle. They just get old. They won't last forever, unfortunately. That's almost like a perfect tail piece. You could do it like that. I wonder if that would fit. Be like this. And then I could do it in a different color. Not too weird. Maybe I'll make it shorter. They're pretty fun to make. Oh, and you could do a separate side wing. Yeah, that's a good idea. Nice. So if you go in and try and get these small parts, it's best to try and dig them out, because if you cut it out, you get weak points, and sometimes they break. This has been a good stamp, mostly because it's kind of compact, and it didn't come apart like some of the ones that I've made have definitely not lasted. I do like carving these. I think I would like carving them even more if my tools were better taken care of. But that's a lesson for y'all. Don't be like me and leave your tools. They weren't left outside, but they were left where they could get moist. They're in the garage. Getting that little tiny little piece. You want to have, it's like bracing the design. Not bracing, but leaving kind of like this connection point. If you're wondering why my fingers, I just noticed that my fingers are really pink. I dyed my pants this morning. And they were a weird kind of seafoam green. They were on sale, and I was like, I really love these pants, but the sale color is like a kind of a not a great color. But since they were so light, I thought, man, I can just dye those. And so I just got around to dyeing them this morning. And they look good. All right, switch. That looks good. This is the fun part. I love doing the detail work. That's the fun part. Especially if I can get it like a you know how you can peel an apple when you get that one long piece. It's so satisfying. My favorite part is rolling it and then seeing when you do the big reveal. It's so fun. You know, whenever I get this out, I'm like, I don't know why I don't do this every day. Well, it's because this stuff is time consuming. Not that time consuming, but it's...
You gotta scrape away every spot.
You do. And then you don't know till after you print it. And then when you print it, then you can see where you have to go back in and remove or make any corrections. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Azalea, I didn't tell you, but yesterday on my bike ride, I saw a groundhog like 5 feet away. And I stopped so fast that Greg almost hit the back of my bike and caused a log jam because all the people behind us, because we were on the greenway over here by the river, the French Broad. And it was, you know, a really nice evening ride. And so I was like screeching on my brakes to look at this groundhog. And I'm like, look everyone, look at this little fella. And it was pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie, it was so cute. And he wasn't even afraid. He just sort of looked at me. And then I kind of had this desire to pet it, you know, but then I was like, wait a minute. If it's not running away, that could mean you know, that it's probably like has rabies or something.
I would not have personally been able to resist that temptation of grabbing the fuzzy tail.
It did have a really fuzzy
I probably would
tail.
have gotten rabies and probably a number of other diseases.
Tetanus.
But then
Listen,
I
you
would have
don't
been
want
like, well,
lockjaw. See, I
mean,
think
that
ahead.
tail is soft.
Next
And
carving,
looks
groundhog. Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of a groundhog. Shoot, that would have been real
Looks like
cute.
Marty.
I saw a really cute froglet the other day, and it totally made my evening. Ah, hello, Cecilia. We're carving a stamp that's going to be on this bag, this packaging. We'll see how it looks. I might have to do it over. You never know. I don't want to act like I'm a perfectionist or anything, but I do like things to look a certain way. So we'll see how this looks. I hope everyone likes it. I'm going to make some for, I was going to make it for a kit, but then I was like, this is going to be to have the swag bag for the attendees of the weekend. Yeah, that white's pretty convenient because you can see where, if you miss a spot, you can see it. The head's kind of tall, isn't it? Let's see, get that eye. Azalea's not making the bag. She made some bags, but she didn't make these. These are from this bag. This is from like Amazon or something. But we have in the past made bags. I have a serger, and I make what's called a tulip bag every once in a while, if you've ever seen those. They design them so that it's like cut like this, and then on the other side is like that. So it's two parts, and you make it in like a tube. And from those two, so if you can almost see it, it's like this. And you use a serger to just cut across, and it has that blade. So then when you're making the bag, or when you're done with the bag, you just tie it. And it's serged with the ties included, so you don't have to run a drawstring through it. Because sometimes running, if you're making something and you have all these extra steps, you know, sometimes you don't want to have one more thing to do. Although I will give myself one more thing to do just because that's my personality. Let's see if I can make that little foot a little bit better. We'll put little spots on his body for interest, texture. This is a little bit soft. I'm used to using linoleum. That's what I learned on way back when, and it was almost too stiff. And the pink stuff that they have nowadays is really soft too. Some of it doesn't hold up very well, I've found. They don't last very long. The pink stuff lasts fairly well. But I have a bag of them that can be replaced at this point. They just get old. Oh, sure you want to see a raccoon. I've got a raccoon right here. This is what I was talking about, how they get messed up. This is one I made before. Oh, look, you can see I have a similar, I make the same thing over and over and over. That's like me, for sure. And Greg did this one. That's a raccoon. It doesn't look like it from here, but it is. It looks way better when you print it, because the light side, it's all reversed. This one was a good one. See, one other thing is if you make something that looks like garbage, like this side was really trash, you can use the other side. See how I did that and made a B? So this looks good. You could get in there with that. You could stamp them in different colors. And then this is one Azalea made. Isn't this so cute? Can you tell who that is? That's my son. So if you're noticing, it's better. Here's a fox. Oh, and this is when I first tried. This is when I was experimenting with that clear stuff. Boy, that This is actually the most trash one of all, is this one right here. That did not look good at all. Looked like garbage, but anyway. And then here's the best one. Do you recognize this? It's my son. Okay, so I want to stamp that, but this one doesn't look that good. I have to keep working on it. Oh, thank you. I might have to. I thought I would be able. You know, sometimes, do you ever do that thing where you overestimate your skills? I think that's what happened here. Like, I thought, oh, I'll just make something real quick. And while it is quick, it's not as quick as other things. And this is only okay. Because the fun part is when you're going in and really noodling and getting in there with some shapes.
That looks so good so far.
Oh, thanks. I showed yours, and I thought yours looked better.
Which one's mine? The cat? Wait, which one was mine?
This one? You don't remember that?
Oh yeah, that looks just like Marty. Thick.
Kim says, believe it or not, I taught lino printing to my 4th and 5th grade students in the 80s. By the 90s, I stopped because my students couldn't handle the responsibility of being safe with the tools. Ugh.
Always carving towards themselves and putting their fingers in the way. I had the same art class of
Yeah.
doing the lino cutting, and everybody was kind of a little bit goofy with it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Not very smart with it.
It can be hard. You know, if you're not like this, my tools are a little bit dull because they were in the garage, and the moisture that happens, and we've had a really rainy time, and I've just let the doors just open, just sitting there, you know, and it's sometimes you get your stuff not wet, but a little damp. So my steel tools have to be treated very... Now, with my steel tools, I'm all like, come here, my darling. Let me put a nice layer of oil so that you are safe. And then I'll wax you with some wax. But these guys, they were like, let's just keep them in this black thing and they'll be fine. Alright, so that's what I have so far. Looks only okay. Get those little toe beans. Get in there. We'll get to the good part here in a second. This is ultra primitive. Let's see. I want it to be a little less so. But you know what the funny thing is with lino is, or block printing, is sometimes the more simple, it looks better. So if I were to build this in, like, here's the head of the bird, and then I had like the body, and they're really super simple, it would actually look better, you know, because it's a more graphic kind of imagery instead of, you know, when you try to go too detailed, sometimes it cannot look as good, and it can get kind of murky looking. And here's one I was experimenting with. This is on lemon wood. This is a cross section, so that means the wood grain is going this direction. It's running up and down so that you dig out the design. And boy, I tell you, this one looked so murky. It doesn't print that well because it's too busy. And when you look at it, you're like, what is that supposed to be? So even though there's negative space in the middle, the amount of action or busyness is distracting. So in this case, the tiny details don't even really show up. They're basically lost. So that's one using a more graphic approach and bigger, broader strokes works best for this type of thing. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cute. I was a little disappointed with how it looked at the end. Oh, thank you. Jennifer says, looks pretty darn perfect from here. Thank you. It's you know, it's okay. All right, let's print it. I'm getting tired of sitting here fooling with this. Get to the good part. The fun part. Will it print okay with ink pad on paper? Yes. Yes, it will. That bird's got a tall head. Let's straighten that out. Why's your head so tall? We'll come at you from this side. Let's see. So the other day, I decided I'm going to learn how to make healing frequency music. And as I was like...
Another thing.
It's not another thing. It's kind of the same thing.
New synthesizer going to be on the Amazon wish list.
It's called modular synthesizers. And so I took a Zoom class and I was pretty lost, I'm not going to lie. It is not, I'm not a musician. I just thought I wanted to make sound effects for my videos.
Before you flip the camera, you can show this. You can show the kit one last time before we close.
Okay, but I wanted to show one printing.
Oh, I thought you were done.
Almost done. This is the print plate. Sorry, y'all, that you have to look at this. I know, I was looking at everybody else's thing the other night. Their setup, and especially when Kate goes on, there's no mess. And then when I'm doing it, it's like the freaking desk exploded. And I've been trying for years to get it where, like, this is so tidy and nice. So I'm trying. We'll see. Let's get it going. Okay, we're going to use, what color should this be? What color do you want, little daughter? I'm going to put some extender on there right away.
I like blue and pink and purple.
So
Any
give it a
color.
squeeze like this. Donna says, now I have to get all my printmaking stuff out. Thanks a lot, Cynthia. Donna, you and me are the same. You're just trying to, to not be. But we have a thing that we like to do lots of things. I think Donna's like the... You know, you're not the only one. I know so many people that like to do all kinds of crafts. Where'd those inks get to? They were just out. Oh, here they are. If they were a snake, it'd have bit me. Okay, I can't find the blue, so... Oh, here it is. Right under my hand. Oh, Kalite says multicolor. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Oh, that's nice. Cherie says, Cynthia, you are fabulous, and don't worry about being perfect. You already are. That's so nice. Let's do multicolor. Agreed. About this red. So fun. You know, I do not print. I was trying to print on paper, but my paper printing looked pretty horrendous. I was like, what's up with me and not being able to print paper very well? Isn't this satisfying? This is one of the most fun parts of printing is this right here. This is the fun part, y'all. Right here is smashing your ink. There you go. That's the fun. Give me a paper towel. Multicolor. Oh, what do I do with that little tail piece? Okay, we'll see. This will be the tail piece. That's extender, what I put in. Now, the extender is just exactly how it sounds. It's for extending your ink. And sometimes you want to do that if you have a really thick, opaque ink. This is not particularly opaque, but it gives you a little bit of translucency. So let's see. Some space. All right. We'll do the bird in some blue. Usually I have a smaller, let me get that smaller one, that one's too big. Rolling a nice thin you want it to be pretty smooth. If it's all bunchy on one side, it'll roll bunchy. I don't know if that's the right word for it, bunchy, but you know what I mean. Okay, now there's a couple different ways you can do this. Some people will say, hey, you set it on top. Some people will say, oh, I put it on this way. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I found I get the cleanest prints when I go face first like this, but it can be very difficult to place two different, like this tail piece. That'd be really hard. So if you're going to try and precisely place it, then you kind of have to do it this way and then flip. So I'm going to try and get that where it looks, it fits the space. You can always flip it afterward. Okay. And then here's this thing. This is, I don't remember what this thing is called. You know what this is called?
I don't know.
It's not a muller. Muller is for the pigment grinding. Who knows what this is? I can't remember the name of it. Presser? Smasher?
The Smasher.
The Smasher. I don't know what it's called. Can't remember. Works best like this, though. You get the nicest, cleanest prints. Alright, let's flip it back this way. Oh, I missed a bunch of comments. Donna says, I think I've only printed on black on cold press. Then I do watercolor. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, Michelle says, we learn so much more than just beading from Cynthia. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, you will, because I don't just do beading, that's for sure. I feel like this needs something. Let's carve a few lines just to be different. Can't just leave it. Or maybe I can because this is so flippin' dull. You know what you could do, and what I have done, is I've made bags for different people. If it's like a present, sometimes you can bead on the printed part, unless you make the ink is really thick and hard to get a beading needle through, but you can add a little bit of beads. Look at this thing is so dull. That's why it doesn't want to do it. I need to send that out to be done by the knife sharpener guy. All right. Okay, now I'm not going to lift that up. I'm going to roll. I need another small one. I think I only have this big one. But I bought some of that black ink, Donna, and I just, you know what? I did not want to clean it up because I was reading the directions on it. I was like, wait a minute. What did they just say how I have to clean this up? I am not going to go hunt down that paint thinner. But I could be wrong. All right. Let's do that right here. Marty must have been sitting on this because his hair is all over. Okay, get in there, you. Boy, you can't even see where I did that one line. It just filled up. Okay, we'll position this like this. That looks pretty good. Use the smasher, the great smasher. Let's see if I can flip that. I'm sure that will be fine. All right, let's do the reveal. Okay, there's the red part, there's the tail. And there's the rest of that bird. Not too bad. Could be better. What do you think, Azolia?
It's cute.
Pretty cute. I'm going to redo it though, y'all. With Optivisors on this time. But you know what? Rustic, you can see sometimes when it's more rustic, it can be more graphic and be easier to see. Partly because it's hard to get detail with something that is kind of, you know, thick lined. And I could have done it this way too, like a Roadrunner, or like, nah, or even like this, so then it's like that Carolina Wren with its tail sassily put like that. All right, friends, I'm gonna flip this block. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Donna. Donna says that's a block printing baron. I knew that word was in my mind, but I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah. Oh, I see. So Kalita says, how about half red and half blue on the bird? Oh, you know what? I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things. I love doing a mix. And that is exactly how I did some of these with these frogs. They started off kind of a lime green, and then I did this where half the brayer was mixed. And you have to be very meticulous when you do it that way, so you have a definite, you know, delineation. Yeah, Kalite, you can have, actually, you could do several, you know, like this little heart. Let's make a little bit of a, let's see what happens if I mix a little bit of purpley. Let's see. I forgot that I did that. We'll just do this little one right here. Oops. Oh, I didn't even get the blended part. Here it is. There's the blended part. Let's see if I can get that in there. Ugh. We'll just go this way and see. There we go. Let's see if that works. It's kind of blended. Let's do it right up here. Let's see what happens. Do it right there. Baron. Smash. I think I made a mess of it because I could see it on my fingers. All right, let's lift that up and see what happens. Wow. That looks okay.
What did you do here?
I did this right there.
Is that something that you made just now?
Yeah, I just did it.
Okay.
I can tell by the way, as I said, that she was so unbelievably unimpressed. So anyway, that was from the scrap, and I decorated that. That would look way better if that were a flower or pretty much anything besides that. All right, friends, let's clean this mess up, and I'm gonna get back to packing my stuff up. I am getting ready to leave for Fresno tomorrow. We're gonna go to, and I again want to say San Luis Obispo, but that's not where we're going. Somewhere San Juan Bautista. Should remember that because I think Bautiste, that sounds like a Filipino word, Bautiste. Oh, thank you, Wendy. She says, that bird turned out great. Should do a star with a double G. That'd be fun. Ah, thank you. Tina says, thank you. No, thank you for y'all being here, doing this with me. Oh, Clem, I wish you could come. Clem, we hung out when we were in San Fran. That was good times. Good times. I feel like I could do a lot more of that kind of like getting together with my people. All right, friends. Oh, shoot, I forgot to show that kit. You could drop that link. So if you're interested, we have 12 of that kit that I just showed with the Herkimer diamonds, pearls, and it's kind of a pinky color. Where is it? So I stand when I'm doing that because the camera, if I'm like this is the one. There's 12. Beautiful. You'll at minimal get 3 necklaces. I would venture to say 4, knowing how I like to make piles and how many piles I usually put for the necklaces. Very easily get that amount. So check that out. We have a few more that we're going to be making. I just got that big bag of paint that was just about to fall off that chair. Everything's precariously balanced. All right, friends. We have a lot of fun things planned. We're going to go live like 50 times when we're in Fresno. Probably not 50 times. I'm exaggerating.
Don't scare me.
Probably like 4. Maybe even more than that. But we have a bunch of really cute little demos to show. And also being with Kate, we get inspired by each other. So it's like a whirlwind of creativity and fun. So I showed this. Azalea dropped the link. If you want, you can get this. I know it doesn't seem like a lot of beads in there, but you've taken beads off a strand. I know. You know that it becomes like this little, like you're like, more please, but that's how much is on a strand once you take it off. So you know that being all full up like that, there's a goodly amount of nice pieces. All right, friends, I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm going to keep packing. And I will see y'all on, what's today? Sunday. Wednesday we go live. We're talking about doing a takeover day on the GBE on Thursday. That's usually Thursdays. And I think that's, and a Sunday. So see us on Wednesday, possibly Thursday. We will let you know in a newsletter. We're trying to be more organized. So anyway, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and thank you so much for joining us. I know that there are literally millions of other accounts you could follow and watch, so we really appreciate y'all joining us for our little program. All right, friends, we will see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.